Praise 96.5 WMGY, Montgomery's inspiration station, and home of the Community Connection with Keshia Bates.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of Community Connections with me. I'm Keshia Bates, Community Relations Coordinator for Praise 96.5 Radio, WMGY. Today, I will be bringing you helpful information from District Attorney Darryl Bailey and also Judge Johnny Hardwick. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning. Afternoon.
Good afternoon. We'll start with you, District Attorney Bailey. Can you just inform our listeners some of the measures that you all are taking to keep the people safe during this pandemic?
Well, we have been on a shutdown of jury trials since March of this year, and that has impacted the criminal justice system pretty bad. We have been continuing to work. Judge Hardwick is our leader. He is the one that's in charge of our circuit, and he has continued the operations of the court system, but he can only do so much without jury trials. We need jury trials to start back up so that we can get the cases that need to be tried, especially the violent cases. And that's what he has asked me to put a focus on, and I 100% agree with him and his wisdom. And let's get some of these violent cases tried for a couple reasons. One, they're the most serious cases, but the other reason is those are the ones who are more likely incarcerated in our jails and taking up jail space. So we're working hard to do that. I know Judge Hardwick has been working hard in this intervening time that we've been during this partial shutdown with jury trials being on hiatus, making sure that we are safe when we do return. And he has been looking at other jurisdictions and having me look at other jurisdictions to see what works and what doesn't work. And I know Judge Hardwick has got a good plan, and he's going to share that with us today of how we're going to be protected when we do resume jury trials in November.
Judge Hardwick, give our listeners some of your plans as far as keeping them safe.
Well, thank you. The number one thing we're going to do, we're going to follow the guidelines that we get from our scientists at the CDC. And in that respect, we are going to have and require everybody to exercise social distancing. We want to check temperatures as you come into the courthouse. We want you to wear proper face coverings. We want to sanitize as much as we can. We want you to sanitize and wash your hands. We're going to sanitize and keep the building as sterile as we can keep it. So we're asking that everyone would wear a mask. Now, if you don't wear a mask, we'll have some available to you. But, I've noticed this deal with the mask. Everybody wants to make some kind of fashion statement or some kind of statement with their mask. So if you want to do that, now you need to wear your own mask. Now, we don't have those fashionable masks that we're going to give you. We'll give you those plain masks. We're going to make sure that we're going to start by doing online jury qualification. We'll have a questionnaire online for jurors to answer. Now, we are mindful that everyone may not be computer savvy, may not have the social media connections that we would hope they would. So if for some reason you're not able to do it online, you're very much welcome to come to the courthouse to fill out your questionnaire. But keep in mind, you'll have to observe those CDC guidelines when you come. We're going to try to stagger the times that we want folks to come to the courthouse. We are sort of in between a number of things. We're in between this COVID-19 and the community need to be safe and have these cases adjudicated because there may be some people that are innocent or not guilty of what they're charged with, and we need to try to address that and not keep that hanging over their heads. So we've got these lawyers who are saying we need to get back to jury trials because, that's our livelihood. That's what our profession is. That's what we do. And then I've got to try to keep everybody safe. I got to try to keep all parties safe, including courthouse personnel, Mr. Bailey's folks safe, spectators safe. And so we're going to try to do that by not having everybody come to the courthouse at once. And so it's a new experience for us. We're excited about it. And what's so great about it is not the humdrum, it's not the stuff that we just do day in and day out. It's something new and different. So that excites us. But we'll be up to the challenge.
Do you have a projected date on when you all will begin in person?
Well, now that's sort of tricky. We're going to resume the jury trial process October 1st. Now, what I mean by that? I mean that we're going to start sending these summonses out to jurors. It takes us about 4 weeks to get a group of people together to serve on a jury trial. And we're hoping that we've got some jury terms in November, and we're hoping to be up and running by the first jury term in November. Is that the first or second week in November, Mr. Bailey? You recall?
It's actually the first week in November.
First week in November, to answer your question, and we'll be ready to go. But we've got to get the word out as we're doing now. We want folks to know, number one, that we're resuming. Number two, that it's safe to come to the courthouse. Number three, that we're going to do all we can to make you safe, and we're asking you to do all you can to make you safe.
Mr. Bailey, I need to ask you this question, I guess. How has this affected your case log and the backlog?
Yeah, it has tremendously affected us, mainly with the cases that are awaiting grand jury, because we have not, because of the Supreme Court Chief Justice's order, we have not been able to have a grand jury since March. Typically, on a normal average grand jury, we would have about 400 cases every month presented to the grand jury. We have had a little higher amount of cases coming in, new warrants coming in. I'm estimating with all the cases that we have backlogged, we're going to be about 2,000 cases behind on our grand jury. With Judge Hardwick's permission, he is allowing us to go ahead and get that started this month, actually. So we will be having a grand jury very soon to help address this backlog and try to get some of the cases presented that we can. We're paring it down. We're changing where grand jury is held. We're going into a bigger room. Judge Hardwick has been gracious enough to give us additional space for that purpose, to be able to have a social distancing and everything that we need in the grand jury process. So we want the grand jurors, just like jurors coming in for regular jury duty, we want them to feel safe. We want the witnesses who are coming in to testify, obviously, to feel safe. But I really, really do want to echo, again, what a great job Judge Hardwick has done in preparing us for this. He has led us through this process and just didn't, there's been some jurisdictions that were in such a hurry to get back, they came back and had to shut back down because of cases that popped up and some things that they didn't think through. So he's been very wise in pacing us and making sure that we, when we do come back, that it's going to be extremely safe for everyone involved, and the lawyers, the judges, the courthouse staff, and of course, importantly, the jurors coming in to serve.
Judge Hardwick, what can my listeners do to help smooth the process or make it as expeditious as possible if they happen to receive one of these summons?
Well, go online, as the summons is going to instruct you. Go to that website. Complete the questionnaire online. And we can do a lot with that information if we get it online. So I would encourage everybody, if you don't have the means doing it, reach out to Ms. Bates and she'll help you get online to get it done, okay? So if they would do that, and then heed our call. We're fortunate that when we ask folks to come serve on our juries, they come. We're not like some counties have to send the sheriff out to round people up to come to serve. So we've been very fortunate to have great citizens in Montgomery County in that respect.
And my final question is for you, Mr. Bailey. For these families of these victims that are awaiting trial, what can they do? I know being patient is the most important thing, but give them some reassurance as to what they can do to help you.
Well, being patient is the most important thing. We have been in contact. We've got a great victim service officer team in our office, and they have been in constant contact with the victims, especially of our violent crimes, the victims' families. And they have my assurance. I know I have the backing of Judge Hardwick. We're going to do everything we can to make sure their cases are presented expeditiously as possible, protecting everybody's rights, but make sure that they get to court as soon as we can get them there. We're already preparing. Judge Hardwick has already ordered me. He didn't have to order me. He asked me, but everything coming from a judge is an order to go ahead and get cases prepared. So when he did feel that we were ready to come back, we have cases that are prepared, and all he had to do is say the word and we're ready to try them. And we've let the victims in these cases know that, and they're excited about that, and it gives them hope. And, just us keeping in contact with them, everybody understands these are unusual times. This is a pandemic like we have never experienced before. And people have been very understanding that we are trying to do everything we can to return back to our business, but do it in a safe way. So, I got to give it to the people of Montgomery as always. We've got a great community, and, they're very supportive of what we're doing, and they understand that we're trying to do everything we can to make things happen as quickly as possible.
Now, Mr. Bailey, could we add that while we're just now resuming jury trials, the courthouse is not closed down. Matter of fact, as we speak, I'm having a criminal docket today where I'm sentencing folks. I had one last week where I've sentenced folks. So the process is ongoing. There are cases that we are putting through the system. We just need to get back to jury trials of folks who waited in jail, and then these new cases that Mr. Bailey is going to indict. Those folks need to be assured that they're going to have their day in court. So that's what we're trying to do. But the courthouse never closed. We may have worked a little remotely some days, but we've been working, and we've got a mandate that we open 24/7, unless there's some bad weather now, hurricane come blowing through, we're going to shut down for that.
Well, now, and Judge Hardwick means what he says on that. He has called me late at night before. He's called me early in the morning. We have had, both of us are obviously not young chickens, right, Judge? So we had to learn about all this technology, but he has done a great job in his leadership in our court system in the 15th Judicial Circuit in allowing us to use this technology, having people teach us how to use this technology, and getting everything that we need as far as the resources. He is absolutely right. We're having just as much court now via this technology as we did before COVID hit us. So he's kept us busy, which is good. I appreciate that.
In addition to that, we're renovating the courthouse.
Yeah. We got a lot of things going on.
A lot of things going on. We need a break, really.
Well, on behalf of Praise 96.5 and the citizens of Montgomery and myself, I want to thank the both of you gentlemen for your diligence and service in this unprecedented time for us all. That was Darryl Bailey, District Attorney for Montgomery County, and also Judge Johnny Hardwick. And this has been another edition of Community Connection with Keshia Bates. I thank you, gentlemen, both.
Thank you for joining us for the Community Connection with Keshia Bates on Praise 96.5 WMGY. If you have a topic or event that's impacting our community, email us at praise965events@gmail.com or call and leave a voicemail at 334-544-1389. That's 334-544-1389. Be blessed and have a wonderful day.